When there's a gap in the market, there's always someone to come along and fill it. Sometimes we didn't even know there was a gap at all. People don't like change, so when you try to introduce a whole new way of thinking, it can often be a steep uphill battle. So can a company as big as Specialized convince us all that their philosophy is the answer? It's time to find out. Hi sheep. This is the Specialized Levo SL Carbon Comp with an RRP of £6,500. I think we should take a moment to admire the design of this bike. That's enough, let's look at the spec. We've got a carbon frame with an integrated 320 watt-hour battery, a Specialized SL 1.1 motor carried over from the Creo road bike, a 29-inch Roval wheelset and Sram brakes and drivetrain. So the eagle-eyed among you might notice a few choice upgrades. We've got the Sram GX rear cassette, which has been upgraded from the stock NX. Up front, we've got a Deity set of bars and 35mm stem, the Fox DPX2 rear shock, and most importantly, in my opinion, the Fox 36 forks, which are now 160mm, upgraded from the original Fox 34s. Let's not forget, this bike was very much built around numbers. A Specialized stump jumper is around 14 kilos, and a full-fat Levo is around 22 kilos. So this had to find a home somewhere in the middle. So a Fox 36 fork offers more control and rigidity, but because of the added weight, it wasn't ever going to be an option out the factory. So with a new upgraded fork, this bike weighs just over 18 kilos, slap bang in the middle of the Stumpy and the full-fat Levo. So let's move on to see whether that tiny Creo motor is enough to compete with the full-fat motor from the Specialized Levo. So the motor might be discreet, but it certainly isn't quiet. Puts out some noise. Okay, so it's noisy, but the power delivery is so smooth. You really notice it on a tarmac road. Oh, and by the way, this is the difference between 35 Newton meters and a 60 Newton meter Shimano powered bike. It's a steep hill, but the difference is clear to see. So this is an old quarry incline that I often do on my regular e-bike. It's going to be interesting to see whether the SL can even get up it. I've not tried it yet. This is attempt number 1. Here we go. Come on, big chainring. All right, okay. I'm going for the saddle down technique. I think that's the way because God, this front end is dancing around. Oh, this is not easy. Oh, it's not easy. Yeah, that's noticeably more difficult. I normally get to here and just carry straight on along the track. So yeah, interesting test number 1. Challenge number 1 complete. Now we're on to challenge number 2, which is the second part of the incline, and actually it gets steeper. It's now 29 degrees, which is around about 60% gradient. I don't know if it can do it now. It's a challenge on the full fat e-bike, so it's going to be touch and go as to whether this one's going to get up. Let's find out. I've got to get clipped in first. Oh my God. Oh God. Oh, this is tricky. The front end is flying. I'm just trying to avoid every little rock to stop me wheeling out. Oh, it's close to looping out now. I think it's getting steeper. Oh my God. Oh God. I didn't think I'd get this far. I did not think I'd get this far. Oh, my legs are burning. Oh, my legs are burning. Oh. Woohoo! Oh. It's a miracle. Well done, Levo. Congratulations. All right, back down. I didn't think it would make that. That's impressive. Yeah, it's really impressive. Genuinely impressed. So there we are. It seems that the SL fares pretty well when it comes to those short, steep climbs, better than I thought actually. But I'm wondering, how will it fare when it comes to those long, painful slogs up in the mountains? There they are, ready and waiting. No better time to go, sunshine and blue skies, so let's go and find out. So, I think I've used quite a lot of battery getting here. We've got 5 bars left. Okay, up she gets, up that bit. Can I do it on this? Oh, that front end is lifting like a mofo. I kept going, but that was noticeably more difficult. Oh, more of a workout. More of a workout.
Look at that view.
So we've got a little full fat bike versus diet bike? Is that what we're going to call this? Semi-skimmed bike. And the challenge here is to see how much slower, I know I'm going to be slower, how much slower I am up this. I need to make sure I'm going to clip in. 3, 2, 1, go. Are you pacing yourself? You're not pacing yourself? Oh God. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Heart rate only 158. What's yours?
I don't know. It's going to be very high. Very, very high. I'm not much slower, it seems, but I'm working a lot harder. Oh, a lot harder. So, the other benefit of this one is you can pedal with it off. Off is becoming arduous. Still, enjoy the silence. Wow, wee wah. The end of our break. Now we've got to go back down. It is playful. It is really playful. Like, I got so used to riding a regular e-bike. Going back to this now, it's quite a breath of fresh air, I must admit. So I am taking it easy through here because this bike does not belong to me. So that first day, I got the big mountain stuff out of the way. Then day two, it was into local woods to see if the SL still felt playful in the tight turns and over big jumps. This terrain perhaps doesn't suit a 29-inch wheeled bike, but putting that aside, I actually found this thing practically handled like a regular trail bike. And another thing, this bike is fast. It doesn't get bogged down and happily skips over the roots and rocks. Cornering takes a little getting used to, but it attacks the trail ahead before you've had time to process what's coming next. So if I was testing this bike purely based on single track descents, it might well take the top spot. So there we go. I've had this bike for almost a week now, and it's probably taken me that long to actually come to some sort of conclusion. Let's face it, housing a motor and an integrated battery in under 18 kilos is bloody impressive. And look at the design. I mean, to have pulled off such a sleek looking bike with all that inside, no one would believe it really. But unfortunately, it's not the looks that I've had to use to evaluate this bike. It's been how it rides and whether it actually fits in with my type of riding. And from the outset, I've been comparing the SL to its full-fat big brother, the Turbo Levo, a bike that has more than double the power and would pull me to the top of any hill really with the slightest of rider input, and also a bike that's cheaper. And unfortunately for me, the Turbo Levo wins hands down in almost every test, perhaps with the exception of lifting the bike over gates, obviously. And let's face it, the reason that I ride e-bikes is to ride higher and further in the mountains than I ever did before, and then hammer back down the descents like I'm riding a downhill bike. But with the Levo SL, you have to approach your rides with more of a trail riding mentality. I can understand why Specialized originally spec'd the smaller diameter, lighter Fox 34 forks, but for the type of riding that I like to do, I really don't think that they would have been enough, but that's how I like to ride. Maybe you're different, and that's the thing with this bike. You can listen to lots of other people's opinions, watch all the YouTube reviews you like, but nothing substitutes going and demoing one yourself. And that really is the only way that I can summarize the Levo SL for you. Don't buy one until you've tried it. Head down to your local Specialized dealership, demo one, ideally for a few days, and come to your own conclusions. You might be pleasantly surprised. So that's the end of another video review. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you would like to try out an e-bike in the stunning Snowdonia National Park, then visit ebikeadventures.co.uk.